This is a medieval eating spike made by Trevor of Lone Tree Forge in Cranbrook, BC. I picked this up at our local farmer's market. He also makes some excellent walking sticks with almost pretty much Warhammer type heads on the top of them. But this, when I saw it, I immediately thought Medusa edged weapon system or Western Piper. This thing is perfect for point-driven systems like that as a tool of self-defense. Now, if you look, there's no edge, but there is a wicked point and a very strong square shaft that comes to a hard wicked point. The handle is grippy because of the contouring on it, and when I cap it here, I feel pretty confident I can drive that into somebody if I had to, right? It's a neat little piece of equipment. You could find all sorts of tasks if you carve, if you do any, like as a marlin spike. There's lots of things you can do with this. It has a little hole in the handle for a lanyard. I am gonna get a friend of mine to make a leather sheath for it, maybe with a ring on the end, so I can carry it in a pocket and have it both as a tool and a last-ditch self-defense weapon. I'm gonna play with this a little bit, going through some Western Piper and maybe some Medusa, but without the sheath, it's pretty pointy to be sitting in my pocket. Let's see what I can do with this as I'm here training anyway. So doing my solo training, and let's put this thing through its paces and have some fun. The first thing I have to say for those of you who are new to this channel, this is me training for the absolute worst case scenario. This is not for your typical use of force kind of situation. This is for the worst case scenario where the use of force is extreme. The reasonable use of force, I should say, is extreme. So I wouldn't do this for just any kind of situation. I am very capable of scaling my use of force to meet the situation that's at hand, to adapt to the situation that's at hand and not use too much force or step into that situation where I become the bad guy and the person I'm defending against becomes the victim. So this is something that you have to understand. You have to understand use of force models. You have to understand what it is you're training for and what your goals are when it comes to using force. And if your goals are finding safety, then as soon as the opportunity presents itself, you should be training to move to safety, not to keep attacking your would-be assailant. So this is something that needs to be trained, it needs to be discussed, it needs to be looked at, and it needs to be part of your mindset if you're going to train the use of force to counter violence. Especially living in Canada, because there's some strict guidelines and rules to this kind of thing, to using force. Anyway, I love this little spike because it is low tech. I love low tech. I mean, you look at the Medusa system, that's as low tech as you can get, but it is effective. That's what makes it effective, because it's not a system that puts a lot of fancy bullshit movements and drills into it to keep people interested. It is a system that simply does a formula that is very aggressive and very straightforward and very effective because of that. This is the difference between training for combat and training a martial art. Medusa is not a martial art. It is a combative system, as is the Western Piper system, where you'll see me using the knife from a hidden position and going on the attack right away. Neither one of these systems are reactive. They are active. They are proactive. And you try to attack first if you are forced to attack. If you know that things are going bad and that you're going to be having to use force, we train to be first. We train to shock, latch, and then do whatever we have to next. And we don't even have to latch in the Medusa system, but the formula is shock, latch, and stab. But you can change that at any moment. Anyway, these systems are very adaptive, and you can pick up just about anything that extends out of your hand and use it for a weapon. Screwdrivers, spikes like this, pens, pencils, sticks, rocks, it doesn't matter. That's why I love the systems. They're both very adaptable to various different things. And this is just another tool that I picked up because it is a piece of art, and it is a nicely shaped piece of iron, and it's so old school. I just loved it. And old school does not mean ineffective. In fact, a lot of times what is old school is more effective than a lot of stuff that's modern. And yes, there's nice knives out there, but $30. $30 for a nice piece of steel. I can't beat that. And this thing works great. It would be a savage weapon if I was forced to use it to protect my life. Plus, it is a nice piece of art that I can show people and show them the work that Trevor Jonason does. And to have it simply as a collector's piece that I can show my friends, hey, check this out. It's a medieval eating spike. And, have something that's a little unique and different. And if I had to, would be very, very effective in a self-defense situation. These kind of spikes are really, really good. It doesn't matter what kind of spike we're talking about. Just a sharpened piece of steel or iron. It has been used over the centuries to protect people everywhere in the world, throughout different cultures, and this is no different. It is a eating tool first, a scraping tool, a tool for carving, and it can be improvised into a weapon. I've included Trevor Jonason's contact in the description. If you contact him about buying one of these unique items, tell him that it was my video that interested you. I'd like him to hear that. But if you like this kind of content and want to learn more about different aspects of self-defense, combatives, martial arts, and the use of knives and edged weapons, please support my Patreon. Also, if you're in Cranbrook, come down to the farmers market on Saturday and see what else Trevor has to offer. Well, this is a nice piece of kit for $30. A hand-forged spike, eating spike, made by a local blacksmith. Well worth it. I'll be getting more of these. They're great little tools. Have a great day.